Welcome to Events in Minutes. I'm Neil AM. It has been a busy week. Every conclave fan is dying to tell their friend what's happening in the Vatican right now. Religious parent groups are worried that LGBTQIA plus books might turn their children gay, and everyone who met JD Vance is now scared they're going to die in 24 hours. But first, let's quickly take a look at everyone's favorite DUI Fox News personality, U.S. Defense Secretary Brian Hex. If you remember the Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plan story in The Atlantic by reporter Jeffrey Goldberg, well, it happened again, but not exactly like last time. According to NPR, Hexeth is under fire after revelations that he shared classified information in a group chat with his wife, brother, and lawyer, officials say. The source said Hexeth used the Signal messaging app on his personal smartphone, detailing minute-by-minute classified information about the airstrikes in Yemen. It happened at about the same time in March that Hexeth shared similar details with top White House officials in a different Signal group chat. Hey, Pete, what happened with that first group chat?
Nobody's texting war plans. And that's all I have to say about it.
Say again?
Nobody's texting war plans.
And yet, reports confirmed that people were texting war plans. Pete, do you deny the second group chat?
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time again.
Did the second group chat exist? Yes or no, please?
See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me.
Democrats and some Republican senators have opposed Hexeth since his confirmation, where JD Vance broke a 50-50 tie to confirm his appointment. And now, a House Republican is calling for Hexeth to be fired. Here's where we are. NPR claims that the White House has begun the process of looking for a new leader at the Pentagon to replace Pete Hexeth, according to a U.S. official who is not authorized to speak publicly. Maybe someone who doesn't have an alcohol abuse issue? Just a thought. Good day.
Hey Novi, BSA will be hosting their meeting in room 255 at 3 o'clock this Thursday, April 24th. Make sure you be there.
What's up, Wildcats? Crochet Interest Group will be having a meeting this week on Thursday, April 24th in room 160. They'll be crocheting stuffed bunnies and butterflies. So if you're interested, please scan the QR code on the left side of your screen.
What's up, Novi? The Environmental Interest Group is having a meeting on Thursday, April 24th in room 184. They'll be discussing Earth Day, new officers, volunteering opportunities, and they will also be doing a mini planting activity. Be sure to be there.
What's up, Novi? Animation Interest Group is going to be meeting this Thursday in room 197 from 3 to 4 p.m. You're going to be watching a movie called Suzume while working on your maps. Have fun, Novi.
Hey, Wildcats, on Tuesday, April 29th in room 160, Japanese Club will be hosting Japanese Women's Club to play the koto. You'll have the opportunity to play the koto and learn how to play it. This event's free, but donations are welcomed. Also, Japanese Club is looking for some officers, so if you're interested, please apply with this QR code on the screen. See you later, alligator.
Hi, me again. Go to novihs.seatyourself.biz to purchase tickets today to Newsies, this year's Novi Theater musical. Shows are April 25th at 7, 26th at 7, and 27th at 2 o'clock. Newsies!
Novi Music Production will meet this Friday after school in room 245. They will be talking about how can music sound good.
Will there be food involved?
Yes.
What's up, Wildcats, and welcome back to your Novi High School Sports Report. Novi Boys Varsity Volleyball would play in the St. Joseph's Tournament, winning it all. And Novi Boys and Girls Varsity Track had their invitational relays, with the boys team placing second and the girls team placing sixth. And Novi Varsity Baseball had a doubleheader against Walled Lake Northern, winning 4-1 and 11-3.
And on Monday, the Novi Boys Varsity Golf Team went to the Hazen Tournament, where they would place first over Northville and Catholic Central. Also, your Novi Boys Varsity Baseball team took on Brighton, winning 2-0, and congratulations to Uli Fernsler for recording 16 strikeouts. The Novi girls varsity softball team took on Wild Lake Northern and came up with a loss. Also, the Novi boys varsity lacrosse team took on Livonia Stevenson, where they would also come up short.
Novi girls varsity soccer team took on Plymouth, winning 3-1. Novi varsity softball played against Walled Lake, coming up short.
On Tuesday, the Novi boys and girls varsity track teams took on Northville, where the boys came out with a win and the girls unfortunately had a tough loss. Novi girls varsity lacrosse took on Athens, where unfortunately they came up with a loss.
On Wednesday, Novi boys varsity lacrosse played Canton, where they would come up short. Novi varsity softball had a doubleheader against Brighton, where they would come up with a tough loss. Novi varsity baseball had a match against Brighton, where they would win 7-1. And Novi girls varsity lacrosse would play against Livonia Stevenson, winning 12-5.
Today I'm here with
Mrs. Neisel.
And what were the biggest fashion trends when you were in high school?
Well, I really feel like the Gen Z wide leg jean that is kind of baggy was huge. So I have really loved to see that has come back. I think that, Doc Martens were huge, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't keep mine. And I think the other thing that was big was a lot of makeup with like sparkles and like color and doing like cool color things in your hair. So those are some of the things from when I was in high school.
And what was the go-to hangout spot after high school?
So I grew up here in Novi, and so over where the Walmart currently is was a movie theater that wasn't Imagine, that was very like old school, out of like 80s sort of look. And so when we were going there like in the late 90s, we would go to a movie a lot of the times, and then there was a place called Cup of Joe that was this coffee shop that was right there, and then there was also Borders Books up there, so like we'd walk and kind of hang out over there. And then of course like there's all kinds of things that like you guys have now that we just didn't have, so hanging out was often at like our friends' houses, and we would do stuff like that more often than like going places.
And what was one thing you think was better about high school in the past?
I really love that we did a lot more in-person things. And I feel like a lot of times kids are so busy with all the things that you do. And I know it's cliche to say phones are, obviously a huge part of your experience, but we didn't have that with us. We didn't have social media. And I think the pressures that you guys face are way different than they were when we were teenagers. So I think when we were younger, we were able to kind of make mistakes without worrying about things being online or things getting spread through, a group text, or Snapchat. So I think in a lot of ways, it's harder for you guys than it was for us.
Vanessa, and today I'm here with
Mr. Kowalski.
What were the biggest fashion trends when you were in high school?
Really big, flared pants, big pipes, Jinko jeans were huge. Anything skateboarding, that was kind of what I was into and what I wore a lot of, yeah.
What was a go-to hangout spot after school?
We hung out at the mall a lot, multiple times a week. And if we weren't at the mall, we were probably at my girlfriend Tina's house or at my good friend John's house.
Okay. And what was really popular slang when you were in high school?
I don't remember the slang. I think we just made up our own slang. So whatever pre-Riz was, whatever the Riz was before Riz, that's what we used, yeah.
What was one thing you think was better about high school then?
Not having a cell phone all the time. I know that's been the answer all the time, but it was so much easier. I didn't have to worry about what I was doing or what my friends were doing, and we could kind of just be in the moment. And I really do think you guys miss out on that aspect of my high school experience.
Yeah.
What's up, Novi? We are back with our 5th episode of Snack Reviews.
This is the Red Bull Spring Edition. The flavor is grapefruit and blossom. It's green, which makes sense because spring is green.
Also, it smells really odd, and none of us can really pinpoint what the smell is.
All right, time to drink. Whoa.
That tastes like perfume.
I'll be honest, I don't like this.
Right off the bat, you could taste all of that grapefruit, which kind of sucks because grapefruit kind of deadens the taste of the rest of the Red Bull. Hold on, I can do this.
You got this. There you go.
It tastes like a lot of grapefruit. I know what I'm talking about.
Grapefruit taste is very present in this, but I don't really know what Blossom tastes like. It does have like a very potent energy drink taste to it, so it's alright.
Wait, really?
I really can't describe what this tastes like. I just know that I don't like it. I guess it's like trying to be like springy or whatever. I like smelling flowers, not drinking them. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 10.
This is definitely better than the Amber Edition, so I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
When I first tried it, I was like, I don't like this. And then I got used to it, and then at the end, I was like, I don't like this again.
I think the consensus is it sucks.
Pretty much. In terms of energy drinks, there's better options out there. I'm gonna give this a 2.3.
This is baseline mid, though. This is a 5.
It's not that bad. I'll give this like 6.5 out of 10.
Now, we're gonna try the next thing.
Not it. In the camera, you ding dong.
These are cinnamon churro peeps. I haven't had a peep in 8 years since Lil Peep died. I think he died before that. Oh. Cheers. Mine's sticky.
It doesn't really taste like a churro. What are you doing? Oh my god.
It kind of tasted like a marshmallow with a little bit of cinnamon on it. That's about the best I can describe it. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I concur.
It's Peeps. Peeps are so good. I love Peeps.
These are all right, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get these again. Better than the normal Peeps, but just not great.
I'd rather just get like a normal marshmallow. Better to get a marshmallow, especially in this season when it's not snowing.
I actually like these a lot more than the normal Peeps. Like, to me, when I have like a normal Peep, it's like I just taste like the sugary coating, which is like, you know, it's nice, but it's a lot of sugar. This was nice because it was more like cinnamon. It kind of balanced it out a little bit.
The best Peep of all time is the Dr. Pepper Peeps, without question. They're delicious. Yes, Dr. Pepper Peeps.
I've never had them.
They have Dr. Pepper Peeps and they're delicious. These don't match them.
Again, these were really solid. If it was just a little bit less of the marshmallow, maybe a little bit more of the cinnamon, that would have been a 10 out of 10. But right where they are right now, 9.
I'll rate this 8 out of 10.
I will agree with Moose. I like these better than the normal Peeps. However, I feel like they could have been better. I'm gonna give these an 8.5.
Okay, these are not great. I just don't like Peeps in general. Better than the normal ones, I'll give these a 6.5.
This is a hot take, but I'd rather just have the original Peeps.
What?
I give it like 6.5.
Make sure to scan the QR code that is on Graydon's face this time.
Whoa! Also, go to NHS_food reviews for behind the scenes and sneak peeks, or you can just DM us there. Thanks for watching, Wildcats.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
What's up, Wildcats? Do you want your story featured on the Cat's Eye News? Email us at nhscatseyenews@gmail.com. And remember, all requests should be in by 9 a.m. on Monday to give our journalists the time that they need to deliver you a quality product.